All right, everybody, thanks for tuning into this video. Um, just had some things to think about today and processing through some of my own lessons right now. And it's interesting. One of the things you have to understand about life and people that teach principles or self-help principles or spiritual principles or any of these law of attraction principles, that kind of stuff, those people that are teaching it are practicing it themselves. So they fall into their own human worries and fears and stuff like that. So, one of the things I've always felt is if I was going to teach this stuff, I would practice it. And then when I have my huge epiphanies on it, then I would talk about it and share it. Because I feel like we're all just people here trying to figure this out. So, I'll give you an example. So, most know that follow my videos, I jumped from my corporate job into doing this full time work. So I'm doing a whole bunch of things in that realm, helping other intuitives and healers and stuff like that build their business. But I'm also building my own membership programs within that as well. So the interesting part about this is that, with that being said, I'm changing the way my life was. In other words, I was doing life one way, getting a consistent paycheck, had a good career, and getting that check every 2 weeks, to being an entrepreneur. And I've always been kind of a part-time entrepreneur, but not to the level of this. So these are the things that you have to look into when you're changing your environment or the way you're used to things. So not only are you changing your brain chemistry and the energy in your body on how you expect things to come in, but you're also changing your habits. So if you get an every 2 week paycheck that comes in, you're just used to that deposit hitting every 2 weeks. But if you come to a place of being an entrepreneur, you have to prepare for those times when it's not as busy as it normally is. So these are things that we all have to start taking a look at. But there's an interesting thing that I want to share with you all. Energy is basically how this universe works. So I've been playing with this energy for a while now, but when it comes to law of attraction principles, it's not what you're thinking up here. A lot of times people are trying to manifest through the intellect. It has to come through the feelings and the energy of which you feel. So one of the things I do is I've been playing with pendulums and that kind of stuff, just to kind of see how they'll work out. So I also have this little coin that you flip it and it says yes and no. But more importantly, I've programmed in my own energy to tell me this is the right direction, this is not the right direction, that kind of stuff. So with that being said, the reason why I kind of gave you that background on that is this. When you are starting to look at something and you're asking spirit, God, the universe, whatever you pray to, is this going to work out? And you're doing it with a place of fear or uncertainty or insecurity, the answer is probably going to be no, it's not going to work out. Because the energy that you're putting into it is an energy that is not whole, meaning that you're not in a place of confidence in your own energy or ability of the future. So, but if you say with confidence and a confident energy that you have no doubt that this is going to work out, then somehow it's going to work out. Now, let's just pause for a second. Is that magical or spiritual or supernatural? There's probably some of that in the background, and I would agree that that is actually happening. However, one of the reasons why it's going to fail is because you won't recognize all the blessings that are coming to you. You won't recognize those moments and those moments that you have to act on as they come into your life, because you'll have created a self-fulfilling prophecy in your life to where you will stop or won't act on opportunities or won't recognize them, or it won't be in your own frequency to be able to recognize that. So that's one of the reasons why there is a natural law that says it's the law of gestation, meaning things happen for us in the time that we're ready to actually have them happen for us. So those are the things that we have to start looking at, because a lot of times things aren't working out for us because we get frustrated, we get upset, we get to this place where we give up too easily. And the truth is that everything we set out to work for is a process of helping us grow and grow into that area that we're wanting to work towards. So this is why a lot of us fail at the things that we work towards. It's because we give up very easily. And I've been working on this world for quite a long time. I've been working on myself internally to grow and allow myself to kind of manifest or create into that person that I wanted to be. And I always wanted to be creative. I love inspiring people, and I love traveling and culture and those kind of things. One of the reasons why I go and do different settings for these videos is because I enjoy going out to different places. This is one of my favorite parks in St. Petersburg, Florida. It's called the Crescent Lake Park. And I love it because of all the birds, and right behind me you can see downtown St. Pete. Absolutely beautiful. You can hear the cars off in the background, and here's the deal. One of the things that is interesting is that when you're working towards something, towards a goal, and you get frustrated, it's a good idea to change scenery. It's a good idea to go out and get fresh ideas and a fresh perspective on how you see the world. And that helps you stay on track. I had a really good friend that she would take a walk in the park every day, and if she'd not do that for a while, she recognized that was, affecting her and her energy. And so these times to get back into nature, not only does it ground you, but it also makes you appreciate the world around us. So if you think about the birds and the animals and everything around us, they're really just in a very simple state. When you think about a child or an animal, for the most part, they know that everything's going to be taken care of because it's the nature of things. It's the nature of things that they will have food, that they will have a place to rest, and those things. But we as human beings, we stress about things because we're not in the flow of the nature of things. And so with that being said, if you kind of get out here in the energy of this and realize that everything happens exactly in the order that it's supposed to happen, and if it's meant to be for you to do it, you will do it. And, the answer I get a lot of times when I'm giving readings for people or doing coaching for people or energy healing or spiritual healing for people is they always ask, is this going to work out? Will I find love? Will I be successful in my life? And the answer to that question is it's dependent on you. So if they say to me, well, I feel like a failure, well, then you are a failure. Because how you feel inside is how your world will manifest around you. You'll continue to have situations around you that you'll only see it as failure. That's not even magical. It's going to be how you see the world. You'll see it as, this didn't work out, so therefore I'm a failure. Or these people don't interact with me the way, they don't love me like I want them to, because you're trying to control them. And if you don't get what you need out of a particular relationship or event or situation, guess what? That means either change to another situation, or change your perspective on it. And if you start to look at that, then you start to go, oh, that's not other people that need to change. It's me that needs to change. Because we'll often want somebody to change to fit to the way we feel they should be. And why not either accept them for who they are or leave the situation? And if you do that, then you can start making yourself a priority. And that's really what we need to start focusing in on, is making ourselves a priority. Oftentimes I teach this workshop where I have people set their life in priorities, and I ask them, tell me the top five relationships in your life, and then tell me your 5 dreams in your life. And almost always they are not even in the equation. Them personally is not in the equation. Their kids, their grandkids, their job, their boss, their spouses, everybody is more important than them. And here's the problem with that, is that if you are not making yourself a priority, then your energy around you is going to continue to bring you people that don't see you as a priority, or maybe they do see you as a priority, but you can't receive it because you don't make yourself a priority. And so when you love yourself, you'll by default love other people. But one of the things I would suggest for people is, if they're really wanting to change their life, is start changing how you do things. So you don't have to, some people take this as like, oh, I need to get out there and exercise so I can lose weight and get in better shape. How about you just start by turning off the television for an hour and going and taking a walk? And some people would say, well, I'm just so exhausted when I get off work. I get it. However, then do it in the morning before you leave. Well, I got to get all my kids and I got all this stuff. There's just no way I can do it. Then do it on your lunch at work. Well, I have to be able to eat. Take a walking lunch. Come up with creative, stop trying to make excuses and come up with solutions for you to actually change it. And that's, find where it fits into your life. But the interesting thing about that is nothing will happen because your mind is full of excuses. So, and it's full of excuses because you're afraid. You're afraid of not being successful. You're afraid of whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's clouding your visuals. I know because I've been there. It's clouding your visuals so you can't see it. So I went into a little bit of a freak out last week. So I knew that. So I picked my butt up and I drove to a coffee shop and I worked at the coffee shop because I knew that movement would start changing things in my mind. And then that night I went and stayed at my friend's house at the beach. I knew that being by the water was going to change my perspective. So these are things, they don't cost anything. Find things that don't cost anything. Come here and be at the park. It will clear your mind so that you can change your perspective about whatever's going on in your world. And I'll leave you with that. Peace.